JM Race Engines is a new business in north central Missouri that have you covered from top to bottom for all your engine needs. Purpose-built engines with the correct amount of clearance will get you to the end of any show, whether it's your local shows or on the national level, where you can't be let down by your equipment. With top-level professional machine work to all engines, your choice of build is totally up to you. JM Race Engines will give you the confidence to push your equipment to the max while giving you your preferred horsepower to boot. From LS builds all the way to your exotic level small blocks that your imagination can only dream of, they have you covered.
But it doesn't stop there. They are also a speed shop that carries a variety of heads, carburetors, intakes, plug wires, helmets, and other safety equipment, and the best VP fuel on the market today to take you to the top. So if you're wanting mild build to wild build, let JM Race Engines help take you there. Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for Demolition Derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with zero limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast. What a week.
Somebody's been all the way across the state.
It's been a hot bit.
And it's hot. I'm out. My office is air conditioned, but the outside ain't. Same way as your truck is air conditioned.
The only thing that's saving me is we're working nights.
That does help. Yep. That does help.
Man, feeling wiser this week.
No wiser.
You know what they say? With age comes wisdom.
That'd be right. Somebody did have a birthday this week. He got to celebrate it all by himself.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good times.
Usually it's celebrating it at a derby.
Yes. They stopped mattering about 10 years ago.
That is no shit. I'm getting ready to have one here after a bit that makes a little bit... What is it, half century mark?
Yeah, that's because you're old as shit.
I am old as shit. I am.
Gross.
With Austin in last week, it kind of threw us a little bit of curveball, but anytime you have a guest that's coming in studio...
they kind of take precedence over what's going on.
Correct. We kind of touched on it a little bit with Austin last week, but we had Madison right up the road.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. We're going to hit on that a little bit before we kind of move into what's coming up. Before we get a phone call. So Madison, Mid-Mo Promotions, we had Danny and Tyler in here. Really pushing the youth stuff.
56 cars?
Yeah, something like that.
54 hit the track, I think?
Yeah.
Hey, respectable show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Track was probably the best it's been for a long, long time. Even with a little bit of rain,
right? Because
they actually paid attention to it. They've got some new people in play.
Just let the grass grow.
We've spoke about that. A lot of times if you know that there's going to be a shitload of water, sometimes the grass will help that.
Well, we got to sowing rye on ours. Remember? And, man, that was awesome. Coming there about a week before, mow that shit on the ground. Coming there about 3 days before the show.
Scrape it back off. Build her back up.
Oof.
Get it on.
And Madison has the potential to have that track. Because they do pull on that.
Old school pull.
Right. Well, yeah, it don't matter, dude. Pulling's pulling.
What do you call them? Charlie Poppers or whatever the fuck they call them?
Okay.
Something I don't want to watch.
If the announcer can come out and set on your tractor as you're going down the track, I'm not doing it.
tire, walk next to it,
Yeah.
behind it.
I'm out.
No.
No.
But yeah, they got that sled pulling right down the middle. But they always figured, well, it's going to be hard in the middle. Who gives a shit about the other spots? There was 2 little soft spots, and they were on the northwest and southwest corner. Unless you're Tyler Milner and you get buried right next to the concrete.
Well, we've talked to Chris several times, who is a known dirt guy. Consistency throughout a track with consistent dirt is key. Mm-hmm. Whether it be consistently soft or, I'm serious.
Yes.
Consistency is key.
Where you're not getting both.
Yes. A simple sheep's foot will go, leaps and bounds.
Yep.
And that's something that you can usually find. Somebody around here, I guarantee you, has one sitting in a fence row.
Somebody's got it.
Oh, bearings out of it. Who gives a shit? We're just dragging it in a 200-foot circle.
Yeah, just circle.
But they are bringing that track around. You've got some people in there now, like you said, the right wheels are getting greased.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to see where that show ends up.
Because what I got to announce that night was the first annual Sean Pfeiffer Memorial Derby.
Maybe we'll start seeing those Baker numbers again.
Maybe.
That 95 cars.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. We talked about that. They had to get some permission from family members and stuff like that to make that happen. But let's get off into the show. We kind of talked about it with Austin that the youth full-size hobo, big cars, Weston Dieters took that win. It came down to him and Cooper Hartgrove. And there was some chess being played, boys, when it got down to them two. Who wasn't wanting to screw up? Who wasn't wanting to step on it? Cooper just had the unfortunate event. Tyler Milner, that's his stepson, pretty much. And it lost the transmission line, and they caught it before it melted the tranny. So, Cooper, congratulations on the second place run. Weston, congratulations on the youth hobo. And then Weston goes back. Let's see what we can do with this thing. He needed to put some water in it. He needed to try to, I don't know if they attempted to pull it down, but we gave him ample time to come out for the full-sized hobo adult class. So he paid his money, he come out, and it was himself, and Matt Chandler down at the end of that. And we all know Mr. 23, Mr. Matt Chandler. He likes sending them. He commenced.
That's a fucking understatement. That dude he's turned in the pits. I'm not joking.
He's like a fucking crackhead without being a crackhead.
Yeah, he loves that shit.
It come down to him and Weston, and Weston was trying to keep it as a chess match again. Matt was not wanting to do that. And
what was Matt in this time?
Old Iron.
Really?
Yeah, Old Iron GM.
Which I think he's kind of
trickling that direction. Matt put a shot on the left front of Weston, and I watched sparks fly from under the car of Matt's transmission area, and there he sit. So the true youth car won the youth class and the full-size hobo class for men's as well. Then he got the Wheelman Award, which Micah White of JM Race Engines has. He was there before I got there. He was set up. He just started walking through the pits and getting donations for the youth Wheelman, and they wanted to do it for the hobos and for the little cars as well. I think each class ended up being $691 extra. And it was voted on between me and the judges. I don't know why they all want me to pick some shit, but they were kind of no-brainers on that. So, Weston took home whatever it paid for the youth plus the wheelman, and then whatever it paid for the full-size hobo for an adult. So Weston probably paid for his night and /cars. Jarrett Powell, the little car youth, he got the wheelman as well, and I think he got second place in the wheelman. So hats off to Micah for raising that shit for the kids. Hot stocks. Whew. Landon Wynn brought his stock car from Border Wars that he ran in the two-man class. He got to do a little bit of stuff to it. Himself and Dylan Johnson were first and second. Good run, Dylan. I thought his training went out. He didn't. He got hung up on a car.
No, I watched that happen in real time.
Yeah.
I was watching it live, and the stars aligned for Landon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that he wasn't going to beat Dylan. I'm not holding a bias on that. I'm just telling him neither one of them would have come out of there with as good a cars as they did had it not played out
Correct.
the way it did.
Correct.
Because Dylan shit's right.
Yep.
And
Since he finally got a transmission.
Right. And whenever he got hung up right there, like, it was way right.
Mm-hmm.
It was ready to party.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, it looked like just a...
Yeah.
And I mean, he was clipping dirt.
Yeah, it was like the dirt was kind of still moving, but there just wasn't enough pressure to get him to move. But, dude, you want to know what impressed me? Hayden White.
I'm telling you, watch the kid. I've been telling you this since I run against him in Huntsville.
Yeah.
Because the little fucker is there when you don't...
They kind of talked. They knew what's up. They're all buddies. But, where Landon is saying, hey, Dylan helped me on this car all week long. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been here. Hayden was like, oh, I know where that puts me. He's like, so let's just go out and let's just have some fun. Well, he got the mad dog out of it as well. Because he was fucking sinning it. He wasn't nose to nosing, Landon or Dylan, but he was damn sure making his shots count.
Well, I'm telling you right now that we've been watching him drive since he started. He's patient.
Little fucker is patient. Yeah, you're right on that.
I've seen him where he's overdrove a car. It happens. I've seen him have bad luck with cars.
Yep.
I'm glad he had bad luck in Huntsville.
Correct. In a car that was that shouldn't have been in that class. Let's put it that way.
Or in Huntsville?
Correct.
Oh, dude. I knew there was no option but to outdrive him.
Because you didn't want to go nose up with him.
I couldn't. When I went.
Well, I mean, you could have.
Well, yeah.
But your bumper would have been over your fucking headers.
Which I hurt the car anyway. Mm-hmm. Just trying to get him pushed in a corner.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not going to say where that car came from, but
everybody knows. I mean, yeah. I was just so glad that it kept dying. I looked over and he couldn't get it started. I was like, yeah. And then his dad's on the dirt screaming at me, junk it. I'm like, I can't.
You didn't have enough car to junk that.
No, everybody's
Not
like,
even
push
close.
him over the wall. I'm like, I can't move that car.
We had a tie. The first time I've seen a tie in Madison for years. Minivans, trucks, SUVs. I believe White Shores and Blake Ward made mutual hit. One of them couldn't go in reverse, and the other one couldn't go, I think, in... They both might have lost reverse. So they did a tie, split the money, split trophies, all that shit.
I think they should have had to have got out and fist fought.
Both of them have BDS going down the side, so I don't know if they would really want to do that, because sometimes that might cause
maybe
some
it's
hard
time
feelings.
to see who's got the bigger BDS.
Something that we talked with Austin about last week was on the youth side, what you should be able to do down the driver's side. Because we have talked.
I done told you where my opinion is.
Correct. I don't give a shit what you do with it. But the parent needs to make sure that that shit is safe. Because if you do that, that will cut down a lot of the leg injuries, hip injuries. Because we've said, you take a 10 or 11-year-old that's first time in a car, maybe second time in a car, they're going for a wheel shot, they're going wide open.
Well, you take some of them, like they've got no real-life driving experience.
No, fuck no. They might have drove the tractor in the hayfield or something like that, or the truck in Granny Low.
But never with adrenaline.
No, adrenaline and going that way as fast as they can go. So
there's some, dude. Don't get me wrong. There's some, that's road racers and.
Oh yeah, that can drive, especially for a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old. But when you get some that are out there that they've been derbying for a couple years because of this youth stuff, and then they take a door shot. But when I look down and I see the cage, wasn't much of a cage.
Right.
3-inch C-channel to a round bar in the dash.
Don't like it.
No. No down tube. Not to even block a leg. Do better, parents. That's all I'm going to say. So, well, going from one mid-mo promotion show to the next Saturday, July 5th, the day after 4th of July partying, they're going to party in Shelbina one more time.
Saturday morning coming down.
Shelbina Mo, Shelby County State Fair. I'm going to say State Fair because it's the biggest goddamn fair that we have around here. That's not the State Fair. But no, just bullshitting. It's the Shelby County Fair. Hot stocks. Full-size hobo bone stocks, front-wheel drive, hobo gut and goes, mini trucks, SUVs, and minivans, mod compacts with 100% payback, money added over 10 cars. We have seen a lot of compacts still left over. And when they're going mod compacts, that's probably just one of them things they're going to kind of look at it and
tonight's gonna fuck up a lot of that.
I don't think so.
I do. I do.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about what that comment was right there.
I don't know if I want to waste my time on it because it's compact. Go ahead.
Sturgeon, Missouri is tonight. It is the 28th. Solo Boys Promotions.
Oh, fuck, I knew he was going to say it.
They made a post on Facebook.
13 hours before the show.
13 hours before the show. If you are a compact driver, come in, pay your entry fee, and you get a stick.
I would never. Never in my motherfucking life.
Say, hey.
Sorry, Andrew Perry. That was a hard F word, and I apologize, sir.
It was IN, not ER.
I've been trying to
back her down a smidge.
Trying to back her down a little bit, but in my life, never. Now maybe when they got to the show, if you wanted to go that route,
yeah. But none of these guys who were going to go. But here's what I think.
So they ended up 13 hours before the day of the show. I should have said that. Day of the show, not 13 hours before the show. 13 hours before the day of the show. So you're giving these guys damn near 36 hours. Because I know that there's a few of these guys that as soon as they read that would not have put a welder down until they put it in the trailer.
Been welding on the trailer.
Uh-huh.
They would have figured out a way to put like a Ranger stick welder in the bed of the pickup and welding on the way to the show.
You're taking something that's already hard and making it ignorant.
I truthfully think I know why they did it, and I think you do too.
Go ahead.
They're wanting to get as many cars as humanly possible.
Oh, I was going to say because they didn't know what they was looking at.
Well, we've been known to see that promotion group as drivers have some shit that shouldn't be there. Like when old boy gets a bumper knocked off in Boone County a couple years ago, and you see a big ass pipe running out of the passenger.
And my tech goes, I missed that.
He did. He's like, fuck. Shit
I
happened.
said Reno. He goes, it didn't matter anyway.
No, he got it knocked all the way off. But
He looked dead. I forgot about that. I missed that.
I didn't. I missed that on the radio.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. I think so, buddy.
Hey, Don, there's a pipe sticking out of that frame rail there.
And it was coming out. Like,
It was. It didn't stay in there after the bumper got knocked off.
he goes, I missed that.
But I really do. I think that's, because I think the last one they had was a couple years ago at the same place, same facility. And a lot of the compact guys that were built to Blizzard Bash rules, they were wanting to cut shit. And finally the guys were like, I'm not cutting nothing. This is to Blizzard Bash rules, and this is what your rules state that we're running Blizzard Bash compacts. So all of them were going to load up, and then they come back running over and said, oh, no, unload it and just run it. So I really truthfully think they were trying to get that out of the way, but I damn sure wouldn't have put to the world no tech line for compacts. Oh, dude, there's going to be kickers and shit. Front, back, side. There's going to be rear end welded solid to the body. There's going to be struts that will have shit off of them. They will have welded tie rods. You open up a huge can of worms to these guys. Everywhere.
Cradles?
Everywhere.
Are they allowing cradles?
If it's a Blizzard Bash mod, it's full of cradles.
What?
Oof. Yeah.
Hope somebody shows up with like a spike on the front of it.
72-inch pointy.
No, you said I'll get a stick. You're not even looking at it.
Yep, don't even look at it. Just give me a stick, prick.
I wonder what they do if you had, like some hydraulic shit to come out the side of it.
A little bit of ram action on the back side of those kickers.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, let's go into full death race shit. Oh, look who it is.
Holy shit.
Look at the head on that thing.
That son of a bitch does got a head. Just a little one, my ass.
Big side.
Big side, what's up?
Nothing. They won't soak every day.
So we've got
I put on Snapchat that we were
recording in.
Or I'm assuming.
I never know when this prick is working, so I never question nothing.
He was at the Big Mad Town show, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was up there with me.
You want to slide over here and give your thoughts on that a little bit?
We got mini trucks, SUVs, and minivans.
Shelbina.
At Shelbina.
Yep.
And you know who's coming for that.
Nuh-uh. Who?
Yeah.
Who?
You know the guy who won both classes at Higby last week?
Dude can cash a check. I'm giving him that.
He's cashed a lot of checks this year. And we are speaking about Garrett. And I did bust his nuts the other day about smoking me. He was the only person who hit me with mud at Pleasant Hill the whole time.
In your pee-pee?
In my pee-pee, in my ear hole, in my eyeball, whatever.
We talked about it, whenever I was standing in that 14-mile-long food line at Salisbury.
Yeah.
I talked to him. He said, I got to win this when I got bills due. That's the confidence I like, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that makes for entertainment. But then whenever you can back the shit, that makes it real cool.
Correct. Because like on Kings of Crash in 2015, you had Jared Lazenby, and his wife is busting his balls because he goes and buys another car. She's like, we got bills due. He's like, well, I'm just going to cash a check and we're not going to worry about it. Oh.
Well, I mean.
That just, you're like, wow.
But anyway, Shelbina is going to be a show.
Oh, yeah. A lot of guys were saving cars. That's why they didn't go to Madison.
Yeah.
Because that is actually Sean Pfeiffer's hometown show.
100%. I mean, that's where he's dominated.
That's where he cut his teeth. I mean, he ran a lot in Madison, too. But being from Shelbina / Lintner area
Right.
and Shelbina,
But you talk about the Shelbina Derby, and you talk about the old school drivers up there. Mm-hmm. What names are coming up?
yeah, Pfeiffer, Morgan,
Mayhaffey.
Schaefer, Mayhaffey,
Schaefer's.
Yeah.
McEwen's.
You got him turned on? Mm-hmm. Okay, I just didn't want him in the distance. People be like, what did he say?
Hello.
Yep, he's
It's me.
on. Just don't sing, bro.
Yeah,
Just don't sing.
We got copyright.
As long as you sing.
I'm not singing. I'm retired. I told you that.
Yeah, something retired. Nah, never mind.
Something read. Something read.
Well, you're going to hit the track there, right?
Yes, sir.
She's
Shabana
about
Mo.
done. You've got what? Probably 5-6 hours worth of work left on your car?
Probably.
He's
You
got
got
the
the
short
cut plates
rows.
off?
Yeah. Hey, shut up.
No, I'm not going to say he's cheating because where the show he was going was going to be a cleanup show, and they allowed a few more plates. So we're talking metric caddy. So you want all the
like
plates.
shibby.
Smell like shibby. You want. I mean, why go in with? You're kind of taking a knife to a gunfight, anyways. In my opinion,
You say that.
to those rules.
Well, we talk about this all the time. They're not the car for me.
They're not a car. For a lot of people, they're not the car. But then there's some people.
Tyler Reed.
Tyler Reed.
Danny
Aaron
Harrington.
Yeah.
Which
Austin
Aaron's
Johnson.
stuff's a little different. I get that.
Aaron shit is not stock.
Austin Johnson runs some metrics.
Austin's had some decent luck with them. Griffin, however, no. He's going to hear that. now.
Griffin,
That was low.
I never want to run one of those again.
But we've seen some people have some luck with them.
Oh yeah.
I hate it.
You still had decent luck over the years at Bristol.
Oh, I did. I could not drive it the way I wanted to.
You can't. Not when the fucking rear rail said
Yeah.
hitting, and not even hitting the wall hard. Just like backing up, kind of coasting, and you touch the wall.
You're going to laugh at me, because we're always talking about, people reviewing their footage and stuff like that. Finally, the other night, I was at the hotel, bored. I pulled up DerbyNation.tv, because they've got that awesome playback feature. Finally went and watched it. Definitely seen some shit I should have done different.
But you see what I was talking about. I mean, in the car, you got adrenaline going. You weren't sure how fast you were going in reverse, but you sit there and watch that
Yeah,
son
I
of a
was
bitch.
not going
No,
backwards.
you were going
I
like
had a
three.
little bit of help going backwards, but not enough. After I watched it, I remember it then, and it was just
Yeah. You might have felt yourself stop.
well, dude, I've been drunk and hit a pylon harder than that. Pulling into the gas station.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
Not that I drive drunk. Never do that. It was on a close
Okay,
course.
pylons. Wait a minute, are we talking about the pylon at Abel?
Yeah.
Everybody's hit that pylon.
But whenever I was rewatching that, I drove up the ass end of that Vic. Mm-hmm. That was, And I watched the front. Mm-hmm. That was when the front really moved. I would have been better off going nose to nose with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. So,
But
if
you
I've
did.
got any advice for you, you see a Crown Vic, turn into it.
Don't drive up the ass.
Right. I'm telling you, you
Do
see a
not.
nose shot on it, take it.
Well,
Because you got my pointy on the front of that hoe.
yes.
We've talked so much. Everybody's so secretive. This one is not so secretive. I know a lot of people that are going.
Yeah.
And if you, don't know, are you going? Here, I'm going to throw this out there. Fuck it. You going?
To watch?
Yes.
Possibly.
If he is there to possibly watch, he will probably do as he did last year. He will get back on the dirt, and he will go live or
Yep.
video. I will try to do some stuff from the announcer's table.
Aaron and them are pretty good about letting me kind of run wild.
Roam.
Yeah, I would. I'm really thinking about letting somebody take my car. it needs like 6 minutes worth of work. And
6 minutes.
I'm not joking.
6 minutes.
Yeah,
Good stretch and
it needs 30 minutes on the frame rack and a lower radiator hose.
It probably needs a drive shaft.
Wouldn't scare me.
Wouldn't?
Nope.
Fuck that slide.
It's got slide.
Oh, it
It
does?
doesn't. It's not a slider, but I mean, I set it up old school. It's going to have to go up high enough that if the drive shaft comes out of it, you've got worse issues than the drive shaft.
it's got to nose up higher than what I nosed up as Mopar.
Because that is not a. Well, I'm not worried about telling anybody. It's old school. That has got the long, the long yoke
Yep.
that slides in the tranny, and it's where it needs to be.
So it's
it was
got some
long-
play.
It was long enough that I had to cut the tip of it off. I'm not joking.
Just the tip?
Just the tip. So yeah, well, and especially for that class.
Let's talk about that class.
Okay. Okay.
Scotty Gander got a hold of me at
I
Salisbury.
love Scotty.
Dude.
Scott Gander has Gander insurance. He says, dude, I'm going to throw some money at Showbiner.
But he won't insure the cars.
Huh?
He won't insure the Derby cars.
Duh. So he says, yeah, I'm going to load up. We're going to get some Mad Dog money in here. It's like, cool. Next thing I know, he's not the only sumbitch on board. There's about 4 or 5 other businesses that jumped on board with this. They're throwing $1,000 Mad Dog at the hot stocks, and they're throwing $1,000 Mad Dog at the full size hobo.
Let's talk about Scotty for a second. My foreman, or my boss, when I first started at SAP, him and Scotty, best friends.
You shoot pool together,
Oh yeah.
got drunk together, probably did some women swapping together back in the day.
So Scott just comes out of the blue. I want a Derby, and goes full tilt, both feet, and drove a car like a seasoned vet.
Yeah, first show ever. I mean, up against
Yeah,
OG veterans
And
and
drove
held his damn own with airplane gears,
oh yeah, and a box Ford.
273s or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he didn't have enough gear to get out of his own way,
Right.
but he had plenty of motor.
Yes, he did.
Of course.
I wonder where that came from.
I don't know. I think all this stuff's done at Denton's shop.
I think Gene might have a hand
Gene
in
had a little bit of something to do with it. Denton had a little bit of something to do with it. So he's
Well, he jumped in with the right crew. I mean, you
bingo.
know.
He even told me the other day, he's like, dude, if it's not for Denton or Gene, I'm opposed. He said, because I don't know shit. He said, if they tell me to go buy something, I'll go buy something.
Right.
He's like, but don't tell me what I need to do to it.
What's cool about it though is he's learning so much as far as putting his car together, and because he's constantly asking questions. You know, he drug me to the side up there at Salisbury and was like, "Hey man, why are they doing this?" I was like, "Shh, I don't think they're supposed to have that."
You cannot have that in yours, Scott. No. Yes.
No.
What's that big piece of metal there?
Well, what I have found with Scott, he is my little cousin.
Right.
He
Who do we feel sorry for?
probably him, but
Honest.
he has always been that way. I mean, if he finds out something he wants to do and he enjoys it, he's going balls deep as much as he can go.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for him at this coming weekend because I know who is riding with him, and he does not have airplane gears anymore.
Right.
He has the right gears, and he's got the correct wheels, better transmission, and the same motor. Like I said, NyQuil is riding with him, so he might have a headache before the night's over.
You think old Denton might have his foot over there? I don't think you got to worry about that, dude, because
He told me he raised the center bar to give himself enough room to get his foot to the gas pedal.
I don't think you got to worry about that because every time I've watched Scott run, he's not scared to
No,
smoke.
hell no. No.
I'm gonna have to message him after we get done and be like, "Hey, we were talking about.
Well, after that, we need to get him in here.
Oh yeah, and pin him down. On
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, and I think he'd take the drive over and hang out and drink some coffee and smoke some.
We could probably slide over that way.
Oh yeah, it's not that bad. We need to get to Denton shop anyways, and
Get Gene and all them.
Yep, get 'em all.
those. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. And people, that's what people want to hear.
mm-hmm.
They're wanting some of this old school. And I still want to pressure Denton on that whole Bristol run.
Yes. Man, he tore some shit up.
You also put somebody to sleep too.
Well, he goes to runs his Bristol car at
Good night, Derby.
Oski.
Right.
And pulled the Mad Dog out there. He said the track. He said I come out with my tires.
Right.
They made this slime. It's on the racetrack, and it just had a bunch of slime on there, and he just blew the tires off, and then he was hosed.
I'm sure he was running 22-inch solids.
23s.
23s.
I think he just threw the tubes and everything out of them. He was just down the wheels.
That's the problem I have a lot with all that horsepower.
Spell horsepower for me.
Oh.
HP.
MOPAO.
Bullshit. No.
Small block Chevy.
So, I think Shelbine is going to be wow.
Uh-huh.
I really do. Like I said, I know some guys that are coming. I know some guys that are coming in the hobos. I know some guys that are coming in the hot stocks. And if the hot stock showing shows up, which I think they are, that will they're going to test Danny and Tyler and Chop and Tanner on the tech side.
That's good, though. I like that. I mean, I do. I like that. I like that we're seeing that.
Push them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Push
that
the fuck out of me. Push.
Yeah, push. Push.
They throw a fair check, so
Yeah.
push it to the limits.
I did notice that there was a few things that, some discrepancies at Madison.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes right back to the conversation we had with them when they were on.
Yeah.
Still don't know what the answer is.
Because there wasn't a rule about that.
I'm just telling you, I don't know what the answer
that's
is.
that thing. So we can't give you a yes or a no or what. We just okay.
Because in situations like that, what do you do? I mean, let's talk about it. I'm not singling those guys out because this shit happens all the time.
Everywhere.
Uh-huh.
So somebody was built inside the rules.
Because as a driver, I know where I would have stood on it.
I've been pissed, which he was. I talked to him. He was not happy because he built it into the rules. He's like, dude, it's not cheated. He's like, I had minute cut list, which I knew I was going to have to do, which everybody does. But then they tell me I can't do something when it doesn't say I could or can't in the rules.
Because, and the way he stood 10 toes down on it, if he would have cut it, it wouldn't have mattered.
No, it wouldn't matter.
It was a principle thing, for sure. Who was right, who was wrong.
Yeah.
Yikes. Again, those calls I didn't like to make, and you know why I didn't have to make them?
Jerry made them.
Because I paid somebody.
Exactly right. Yeah, because that was when we were in here with them. We said good cop, bad cop, because one was saying let him run, the other one was saying no.
Yes, yeah, I'm telling you, that's why one person.
Yep.
One.
Sometimes the two helps some, but then the other times it kicks you in the dick. And that
Because
was one of
I'm
those
telling
times.
you, it's human nature. You're not going to get along with somebody all the time.
No, hell no.
Jerry and I didn't get along all the time.
Nope.
But whenever he made a decision, guess what?
You back him.
It was final. That's why there was several times that Jerry Lyerly made more money during the season than I did.
Same. Yeah. But he's got all the pressure on him. But he doesn't. If you're talking a head tech to a promoter, the head tech takes more bullshit right there at the show. But the promoter gets the overrun and the overfill of it for the next month.
Right. Well, until somebody else fucks up.
And that head tech is done with it as soon as there's no
Right.
people on the lift, no people on the tech line. They're just done and done.
Oh, speaking of Mr. Perry, let's get a Snapchat.
So we are.
Hold on, don't do it yet.
Okay, don't do it yet. You're going to read a snap?
No, hold on. I do want to give a little shout out to Twisted Metal Promotions
Twisted Metal Motorsports.
Yes.
Bourbon Beatdown 2026.
Yeah, and
Louisville, Kentucky.
they're having shows. Like they had a show yesterday.
That local stuff we don't know nothing about.
We don't.
The only
but,
thing we can do is see their
yeah,
calendar or
because
their
that was
post or something.
the Henry County Kentucky Derby, and I kind of scrolled through some of that stuff this morning. It looked like they had a decent show.
Kentucky dudes are different.
They are. I ran against some of them. They are no joke.
No, they're not. They take that shit very, very serious. And look at Bourbon Beatdown of 2025, and then right there, that kind of shows, other than Ty being an Illinois boy, but when you got some Eatons, out of Kentucky, Jason Kinman out of Kentucky, Adam Fucci out of Kentucky, there's some dudes that are going to be full send, and not just on the big car side. Like Jonathan Painter, he's from Kentucky, and he's in a little car, and he will junk your shit. He don't care. But I do want to thank them because I haven't got none yet. But after we got back from Bourbon Beatdown, Mr. Andrew Perry sent us a bottle of whiskey.
Yep.
And said, thank you guys so much for supporting us and becoming part of our family.
Dude, they're so stand up, and that's what I was talking about with the hospitality thing. Whenever we go to these shows, it's not like we're asking these promoters for the world. Whenever we go, we just need a spot to lay down.
Yep.
And a badass place to video.
We could have got hammered drunk. Hammered, retarded, blackout type of drunk.
4-wheel drive drunk.
Nope.
Lay down.
NyQuil type.
Yeah.
Just go to sleep.
Yeah, because of the buffet of moonshines.
Yes, the case of flavored moonshine of watermelon and strawberry and what was that one thing?
Dingleberry.
Dingleberry. Oh my Lord. Oh, we'd have just been piled up.
But it was so cool to go down there and experience that. It was definitely the calm at the surface.
Oh yeah. Duck on the water.
Oh yeah. It was so much fun.
But what I like is like Crystal Florian. Talked to Chris the other day. His son's already signed up for that youth class.
I'm ready to go back.
Because it's youth. It's something we'll,
youth class?
yeah.
I
Identify
as a 14-year-old.
I knew you were going to go there. I identify as a midget. Yeah.
Little
That's
person.
a big,
I'm
that's a
sorry.
big midget.
Politically correct.
We want to give a shout out to those guys because they are really trying to revolutionize the industry as well. Because everything they do is like all of them. They put everything of themselves in it. Robbie is so passionate about what he does. That's why whenever you see people on there giving him shit, and I've given him shit.
I'm giving him shit.
Everything that he does is wholeheartedly to try to progress. So whenever you see people on there, like he takes that stuff to heart. Whenever people are on him real hard and stuff like that, and I'm like, hey, calm down. They might not matter as much as you think they do.
I know when you all went down there. I told you me and Drew were talking about loading up and coming down and watching and driving back, and then we decided not to because it was late. And then after watching the videos, that you sent, and then just the updates and stuff like that, and I was like, I told Drew, I said, that's a show to go watch.
It's good.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
it's a show, and they're better in that show. 2 days. They're not trying to pile 50 cars on that track because we spoke about it. That track won't hold 50 cars.
Right.
That track, 35 max, and you have some room. But like I said, I think Chris is going to try to maybe take it a little bit longer on that left side. What I would have thought, he can't go any wider, but he can go a little bit longer. And, if it'll give you enough room for 5 more cars, so be it. That gives you a little bit more
That
room.
was the first time that show had been back there.
Since 2019. And the show there in 2019, the track wasn't near that big.
Again, you'll have issues with all that stuff. I mean, it's the first year in. But Andrew was cracking me up, because he was like, hey, get in.
Let's go. Get in now. Come on. What are we doing? We're just going for a ride. It's like, Andrew,
14 side missions later.
Yes. So we ready to jump into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start with the exciting news.
If you give some people a mission, or some people takes the mission upon them, the right people in the right places are going to make shit happen. After you and I had talked, and we said it's just not in the cards. We had a waffle that we was doing, the car that Derek Court gave us. We just couldn't get enough. I don't know if it was an exposure issue or guys just aren't that fond of a square body Vic
We're going to get that up here. I'm telling you.
Yes, we're going to get it up.
We'll get it up here and get it in my backyard.
So we were actually going to use that money for airplane tickets.
Which, again, thank you so much, Derek.
Yes.
For trying.
That didn't happen. So we have spoke. A lot of the Utah guys we are actually friends with, since we've started doing this. And we just kind of, I sent a few snaps and a couple texts to say, hey, guys, I appreciate everything. I know you guys want us out here. It's just not in the cards. My shit blows up.
Yeah.
No. No, we're not giving up. We're going to get something thrown together. So next thing I know, I see a Facebook post, and we're tagged in it by Mr. Jackson Johnson and Jared Johnson and Justin and Chunk Broadhead. And they have a waffle going on. Like a mid-90s Crown Vic.
I'll tell you right now. 94 Marquee.
Yep.
7 out of 10 car.
Yep.
So, awesome county fair car.
Yep.
48-inch door wraps from Broadhead decals. Triple B's T's mystery box.
Chunk.
2 15-inch Isuzu rims.
Chance.
2 pit passes to the Heber Derby.
Bowman.
2 destructive behavior t-shirts and hats.
Bowman. Winner takes all.
Winner takes all. $10 a stick.
Yep. Buy as many sticks as you want. So we've done the calculation. And right now it's almost to the spot where... So right now we're just going to tell you we will be in Heber. They're making this happen because it's only ran for a few days. So if you're on our Facebook, you can see where we're tagged. You can go on that, whether in your Utah, Idaho, California, all of them. They're going to get us there. So, yeah.
We can't. I mean, such a humbling.
Humbling to the point where, what did you say we owe them?
Over the pants handy.
Yes. So there is no rough textured hands on any kind of genitalia. Let's just put, that's the nice way to put it.
Jeremy Baker's calling me.
I know where he's going.
You can answer at Ace Performance.
Heber, Utah. Team show this year, which we've hit on. Still got a singles class for the weld classes. Got a 4-man team show, 8 teams, plus some old iron wire.
These boys have saved us enough money flying out there. I wonder if I can rent somebody's car when I get there.
You might not have to rent it if it's kind of already been offered.
Right.
So there might not be no rent entailed.
Can you take a helmet on an airplane?
I don't know. Yeah.
What if I just act a little
You want to use it, but they don't wear.
You can't put him by the window.
Breathe, Derek. Let him breathe.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's gonna wear a helmet.
I mean, I'm trying to hide my excitement, but dude, I'm so ready to get out there.
I don't know if I've ever seen a person with a full face helmet with that type of nature. You need to borrow my half school.
Well, like I'm talking, we've said Steven's pretty dark, and he's got a lot of black hair and beard. So if he walks in with a helmet, they're gonna be checking him at TSA for bomb straps and shit.
Stop it.
Which 2 years ago we go to Utah, right? Steven's never flown. We go to Utah State Fair, and he's freaking out, being he's never flown. He doesn't like heights. So he drinks a $34 whiskey drink that was straight whiskey with like that much Coke in it. And
that was a nice lady.
Steven gets pretty annihilated on the way there. Didn't do that on the way back,
Nope.
But you've done it once. So, But we're actually going to fly out of Columbia instead of Kansas City this year, and it's a little bit smaller plane.
And I get to take my son with
and
me.
You're taking your kid with us for his birthday.
Yes.
So I don't know what the kid at the age of 14 that's going to get to spend their birthday weekend in Utah or not. I'm not sure if that was on his birthday list before, but I bet you it is now. Well, we've got somebody that we're going to get on the phone, and he's going to enlighten us a little bit more just about Utah. So we will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you tired of your compact going into limp mode? Are you tired of watching everyone run circles around you at national level shows? If you are, do something about it.
LMMF Simplified Wiring is the only way to go. With tuned DCMs and simplified harnesses, Ryan has made everything simple for you. Just plug and play. With next level customer service backing up a great product, why not join the winning side? They will get you wired. So you can visit www.lmmfsimplifiedwiring.com or find them on Facebook to get you started.
And enough about compacts. They also do LS stuff. So for big or small needs, hit them up.
Well, dudes, we just said we'd make a call.
There's somebody that knows something about something.
A little something? How about Heber 2023 singles winner plus Mad Dog and singles 2024 runner-up plus Mad Dog? Parker Lazenby, what's up, homie?
Oh, how's it going, fellers?
We just figured we'd catch you on this beautiful Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Steven time, 9 o'clock your time.
Yeah, we're good. Just made the kids breakfast and took off away from the house so they wouldn't come barging down the door, interrupting.
Well, dude, let's just jump right into it. How did you get started in this crazy-ass sport, especially Utah style?
Oh, man. So I kind of grew up in the mecca for Utah Derby, at least in my opinion. Like old school Heber, like Brad Bowman, TJ McPhee, Mont Sweat, Nate Broadhead, Justin Broadhead, like that whole Heber group that you saw on Kings of Crash, that was like my childhood growing up. So, I used to ride my bike to Mont Sweat's house. He was a couple blocks down, and I would just go stare at all of his pre-rans in his backyard with his son Taylor, that's my age, and just, crashing Hot Wheels, crashing bikes with Taylor, Mont's son, and kind of just spiraled into there. But as far as like immediate family, none of my family is involved in Derby, so it's kind of a long shot making it happen. But I got to give all the credit, like Brad Bowman, TJ McPhee, Ryan Winterose, those guys. When I was really young, they bought me my first car and kind of took me under their wing. And
so you're kind of the redheaded stepchild in your family for Derbying.
Oh yeah, like not to make fun of my dad too much, but that guy's about as liberal as it gets and white collar as it gets, and boy, yeah, I think the most he's done in my Derby career is let me use his truck to tow to a show.
Well, and man, what's crazy about you being where you are as far as not having the Derby backing in your family, the progression that you've brought to the sport yourself, and I mean, I'm not trying to suckle on you, but I'm just saying that you're the outside of the box thinker, builder. Whenever it comes to that stuff, where's the drive come from on that?
I'd say my Derby motivations over the years have like certainly changed. Like when I was younger and just in the stands and in the pits, you know, I'd watch Brad and TJ and like the Utah guys fight California at the Hot Rockin' Fourth in Utah back when that was like, you know, big time show. And like what motivated me back then, it never was builds. It never was, you know, like the ingenuity of the sport. It was always, you know, hey, we got these guys from out of state that are coming to invade. And we might not win, but let's, you know, bang their head off the passenger door as hard as we can a few times.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let them know that we were here, you know, and that kind of was always my motivation. Is I never wanted the Derby for the builds or even to win. It was always like having an enemy and like a rival. That used to be like the number one motivator for me. Like that's the thing I'd probably struggle with the most as I get older, because all of us like each other so damn much. There's so much respect that you got to find like a new motivation. And I was thinking for a minute there I was maybe going to give up on that, but I went to River City Rampage this year with Brett Nelson, Gage, Cordell, your guys' buddy old Colt Doyle, and like those guys, that just saw him drive for fun, and dude, that put something in me that
what did you?
I'm excited to let out next time I drive.
I was going to bring that up. What did you think of the Tall Stack Mafia?
They put Utah to shame. That's for sure. They put me to shame. You know, that whole group's there to hit. They have like the best attitude. Like it was like the funnest atmosphere being in that tent, you know, fixing cars all night.
Well, those dudes 100% use that show as their
Playground.
Their playground. That's their party show. Like they
Bone stock builds.
dude, the tall stacks, the domination. You know, we're mad dogging every drop of this. We're not going out there. We're not driving to win. We're going out there to make sure everybody knows we're there. We're going out there to make sure that everybody hears us. And then we're going to kick it in the pits, and we're going to fix all these cars, work on them all night, and wait and build up for that show next year. And they just keep doing it.
Yeah, I keep looking at how far it is to bring a car out there from Utah, but honestly, I don't even want to mess with the environment. I don't want to get exposed as being the biggest bagger in the group. I'm just gonna keep
Well, if you wanted to do something like that, I mean, if you were willing to drive out this way, you just need to bring a drivetrain, because that's an easy enough build. I guarantee you there's a shop laying around
that can make a car happen.
I don't want to get exposed, man. Those guys are OG killers.
Hold on. This fool is saying something about bagging. 2 years in a row, you won Mad Dog at Heber. So where are you coming up with bagging? Bitch, you can't spell bagging.
I don't know. So back to the motivation thing. So when I first started driving, it was like Brad and TJ and that whole group. They basically told you like you got to earn your reputation points like prison. You know, go fight the biggest guy. And so like I feel like the first few years I was driving, it was more so like he tried to make a statement, and always drive hard. And then it didn't click to like try to win until I ran a team show, like a Stern Dirt's 2-man team show. May Mania is what it's called. Mm-hmm. And like I had never in my mind have ever like tried to win a show until that, and like I didn't even start trying to like the main event. Like we ran the heat race, we pretty well kicked ass in the heat race. The guy I was running with is just a super mad dog. His name's Leighton Shepard. He won Wasatch last year, the first place car.
Yes, he did.
And like maybe 2 minutes into the main event that year, he lost his transmission, and like it just hit me like on the first red flag, like, damn, there's still like 18 cars left in me, and like I don't have a teammate, and I was like, I owe it to that guy to try to win,
Mm-hmm.
And he got lucky enough there and got the first place and the Mad Dog. I think they mistaked our cars for each other. He should have got Mad Dog, but anyways, it finally clicked in my head to like try to win, and after that, it just kind of became my new drive for Derby was to try to win and like take things I learned from guys like Brady Larson and Zach Ponzer and watching Rob and Teddy and Trey. Like,
easy on that Trey stuff.
I think
his head gets swelled up so much that we have trouble getting him in a car.
Well, I'll swell it some more here though. Like I'd say the 2 times in my life where smart driving clicked as a spectator was once watching Trey at Capital City Carnage. I think the year he got second place in that. I think it was like a red Impala or red Buick 4-door at the post. And just watching him that whole weekend, and then especially in that feature, just like smart driving finally made sense. And then watching Zach Ponzer and Brady Larson at Vegas that one year when it was a team show, watching them run and gun and get each other unstuck in that terrible track conditions all weekend, and especially in the feature, like smart driving just clicked. Like, oh, I don't have to drive like a Utah idiot, don't have to full track guys at the passenger door. Like, this is actually entertaining, and like I want to try it. So it kind of clicked there, and I don't know, Heber, I don't know what the heck happened to get Mad Dog in first. I mean, I think a lot of that carries over from Brady Larson's rivalry with Ryan Schweer that he had before that show. And I kind of wanted to impress my buddies back in North Dakota, so I just tried to go after Ryan Schweer the whole weekend. And I think I got so much tunnel vision, by the time Ryan was out, there was like 3 cars left. And it's like, oh, sick. Like, that was on accident,
So how old were you when you got...
Is what I'm getting at.
How old were you when you got in your first car?
I think I was 14. I think I was 14 when I got my first car. You'd like it, a Monaco, old Roscoe.
There we go.
Yeah, OG Mopar guy back in the day.
Well, you said Bowman, so that kind of,
Yeah.
I kind of had an idea what you were going to say.
Yeah, those were happier times back when I used to like not do anything to the car and run the motor that was in it, and those Mopars always screamed,
Oh, so you're telling me that you spend a little time on your cars now?
Like a little bit, but I mean, not a lot. I mean, I'll be the first one to say I get a lot of help. Like Jared Johnson, man, that kid has brought me up to speed big time with build stuff, and
I feel like any kind of criticism you get from him is okay, because he is so over the top with his stuff. Like I've seen some of his cages, and if it's not perfect, he's not doing it.
No, he'll redo something 100 times, and like I remember when I first moved down here to Delta, I'd like want to help him on cars, but he's so meticulous, and like it takes him forever to do stuff, and I feel like I'm no help, because like I can't just go off and do something on his car to help because he wants to do it.
See, I could help him because I could stand there and drink beer and make fun of him.
Yeah.
Well,
which I'm super good at.
Parker,
he's definitely the pro.
what did it mean to you winning Heber in 23 with it coming down to you and probably one of your best friends?
And I just got chills just thinking about it. It it definitely meant a lot, like hometown wise, that being the show I was so, obsessed with and like grew up. I mean, I remember being 8 years old and like my mom was on city council, so like she had a couple connections with the county and they'd, give me a pit pass and I could go bug all the drivers when I was like 8 years old. To win at the hometown was great because I'm not even kidding you guys. I had only made the feature one time at Wasatch before then because like all the other years I drove it, I was just there to mad dog it, and so that usually means taking fourth place in the heat, just missing it, or going to the consi or grudge match and wasting my car for fun. And like to win it was unreal, but the bigger meaning was to do it with Jared, like you were saying. I for a long time there's a big rivalry with Heber and Delta, and I've always kind of tried to stay somewhat out of that. And so when I was younger and picking shows, I would honestly go to stir and dirt shows to try to run against more out-of-staters than to get into the Utah rivalry that's going on,
Yep.
And it kind of came to a front. There was one show I used to always watch. Jared and Jackson have some of the best cars in the arena, but they always got outnumbered, and it was really hard to watch because, I mean, in some cases they were absolutely the best car there built, but always getting outnumbered. And there was one time at that Juab show where it wasn't the Johnsons, but it was two other guys from down this way were just getting absolutely annihilated, like 9-on-2. And it was such uneven numbers and like the worst team driving you'd ever seen. And like, I finally was like, all right, I have to build like this heavier build instead of my comfortable stir and dirt, like semi super stock stuff,
Limited wheel stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and so the first kind of like heavy build car that I did that wasn't stir and dirt style was that Heber car. And it just meant a lot to pull off the win there with Jared. And like, it was more of like I don't know if it was like a statement win or like it just felt good to like get all the guys from southern Utah that are usually having the worst luck with the pecking order and reestablish it, and like, I don't know, just that meant a lot to me because you see how much time the Johnsons put into their cars, and like a lot of other guys down here, and like to always be beat by numbers was super hard to watch. So it definitely meant a lot to be sitting there first and second with Jared.
Well, I'm going to kind of switch gears on you here and backpedal a little bit. Not only did you get to come and check out River City Rampage, but you got to do a little exploring too.
A little exploring?
Yeah, whenever you and you got to go check out Chicago and got to go do some stuff up that direction.
Yeah, Midwest Massacre. I'm sorry, I was thinking RCR.
Right, yeah, you got to come out down and check that out, but then you come back and got to check out. You got to do some exploring. What was your thoughts on that? Kind of getting to get away from the Derby scene and go do a little sightseeing.
I think probably 99% of Derby guys, we all have the stereotype that Chicago absolutely is sketchy and sucky. At least I did. And I don't know. I think me and my wife, we probably stayed in all the really touristy spots, but that hands down is my favorite city to visit in America now. It was sweet to go do all of that, sightsee, and that's a really sweet place. And on the flip side, it was fun to take my wife over to the home turf of the old school Metal Mayhem and try to educate her on some Derby history that she didn't seem to care about.
Well, he kind of brought you into that. So the reason why you were there, because you've actually started to do some stuff with We Crash TV. How did you come about all that?
I don't know. One time I filled in for Track Shop at Heber. My sister, bless her heart, for some reason she put her wedding on the Heber Derby weekend, so I couldn't run a car that weekend. But I remember watching the first night on my phone during the reception, and the Derby was literally happening right below us. Like, we were on, there's that huge mountain that's right next to Heber's Derby, and we were on that mountain at a wedding reception.
Parker's got binoculars.
I could hear guys banging it off the rev limiter. I'm freaking pissed off, absolutely pissed off. And so the second night, Track Shot had me on for a little bit, and that was really fun, especially knowing the drivers, that closely, being able to call it. And then I think for Madison, Sam's original plan was somebody else. And I don't know, I might have been the 87th person he called, or like the 4th person. But yeah, so I don't know, took a little gamble and
I think it was supposed to be me.
Yeah, see, you were number 86 or something. But I don't know. I don't know what possessed Sam to call me, but I'm super glad that he did. That was something else, being able to work with Dustin and Andy Robinson. That guy is so freaking funny.
That he is.
Oh man, he likes to call it how it is, and it's pretty refreshing and funny. And
well, that's what's fun about whenever you hear them get people on all these streaming platforms and whatnot that know the drivers, because it almost adds that personal touch to it, where their driving style. So if they're doing something different, you can touch on that, or if you know why they built that car, or why they're driving backwards, or what's going on. It really makes for a better experience on the viewer end.
Yeah, that absolutely. And I think ever since Chris Marquardt stopped doing it, we've been starved of really good trackside commentary. Like I don't know anyone that ever called like a pay-per-view better than Chris. Like back in the OG Blizzard Bash Capital Carnage days. At least that's just my opinion. Like he seemed to know intimately what was going on in the pits and what was going on behind the scenes, and did a really good job of like bringing you all of that information at home.
Well, that's why all these local guys around here, that's why they immediately try to scoop Derek up. Everybody's seen it, especially on our podcast and whatnot, that he is more of the facts guy of what's going on.
Oh, yeah. Calling it exactly how it is, and
yeah,
not scared to go to any subject.
And he knows all the drivers, so it makes it more fun for the crowd whenever Derek's announcing these shows, instead of some fair board member that has watched a derby, kind of.
Yeah. Well, they get the essence of what's going on. That's about it.
Yeah, and they don't like me announcing because I cuss too much.
I can't see that.
Oh, I'm like, look at this pussy out here trying to.
Derek's the more politically correct.
Oh, 100%. Derek, he's up there, good, clean fun. His playlist, they enjoy it better than mine. I'm not saying they don't like my music, but
that's one thing. That's one thing I was super sad about at Madison. Sam had a DJ there, and I'm like, come on, dude, you didn't give me a chance. Like, put me in, coach.
So, speaking of put me in, coach, you and I had talked, a month or two ago. You informed us, or me, that you were actually taking the year off from running Heber, spend more quality time with mama and the kids.
Which is stand-up.
Is stand-up as hell.
Everybody can... Nobody's going to hold that against
Correct.
them. If they do, fuck.
But are you doing a little bit something different for that show that we kind of talked about?
Yeah. So, I'll be doing the We Crash TV pay-per-view this year. Kind of originally, Brad and Ryan had a kind of a little format, whatever, to switch from a single show to a team show, and it kind of was a little unclear of what was going on, and a few of us that were all on the same team originally were all under the impression we were the team captain.
Got it.
And some different things happened there, and Brad expanded the team list from 8 teams to 16 teams. And so at that time, I made a team with a few dudes that had been wanting to come out and run Wasatch for a long time, and when Brad shrunk it back down for the betterment, in my opinion, the betterment of the show, going to 8 teams, it kind of became a thing where I could either have my spot, but it would have to kick out another team, or just kind of a jumbled mess that Ryan and Brad didn't see coming. And so I think kind of for the betterment of the show, I took a step back and just told Brad I would avoid the hassle of what was going on and help him out, whether that be, I believe I'm teching at Wasatch and then doing the We Crash TV. And it was kind of a catch-22 because now I get to spend a little more time with the family this year. I got a 1-year-old named Bo, and I remember my daughter, her transition from 1 year old to 2 years old was super fast. Mm-hmm. And those were the years I was, I first won Wasatch and was building a wheelman car, and like everything in life was going a little too fast. So, I mean, it's a catch-22. I get to hang out with the family a little bit, and then also, as much as I somewhat disagree with what happened with the team stuff, take a step back and for the betterment of Utah Derby and all of my buddies that run the show and Brad and Ryan, they do a great job promoting it. It's the best you'll ever be treated as a driver of the Derby. So I kind of figured, instead of pissing and moaning about it, do the opposite and, kind of buy into what Ryan and Brad are trying to do and help out. That's kind of what the sport needs in a lot of areas with, a lot of the drama that happens with the sport. So,
which, we have talked so much about the payouts in Utah are just fucking crazy anyways. But now these guys are putting a show together that's got over $200,000 in payouts for a 3-day show. We're not talking a 4-day show or a 5-day show. But then they're doing it where it's one-on-one. The only way they can sensibly do that, kind of what you said, for the betterment of the show, was to do a true Elite 8 and run it down to one-on-one for a championship of paying for roughly $35,000, $36,000 for your team to take home. I know it's probably a kick in the nuts that you don't have a team, but kind of the way you worked it, now you're going to be able maybe next year to kind of have what I would call kind of a dream team, because you guys have that already kind of set up for next year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll say everyone that's on the team.
You don't have to announce what's going to be on the team for next year, but we have talked. I'm not throwing no names out, but that this is the team that you would want to personally handpick to run this show that means so much to you in 2026.
Yeah, it's definitely that team. Brad was nice enough, that he understood the problem that arose and gave me a guaranteed spot for the next year, So mm-hmm. 2 teams will drop out, we'll drop in. It's with a really solid group of dudes that I'm super excited for. But I'll probably have the worst FOMO of my life announcing that show, for sure. I mean, if you guys want to see a lost puppy that just got kicked in the nuts, you can tune into We Crash TV and watch me announce that show that weekend.
We'll do you one better. We'll just come.
We'll just come fuck with you. How's that?
You guys are coming out, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we are.
Oh man, dude, you're in for it. I mean, just to preview the show, everyone loves going to Blizzard Bash, and everyone loves going to Gold Rush for the team stuff. And there's always those teams that you pay attention for the most. Like Caddy Nation, Night 1, Limited Well, Blizzard Bash. Everyone's paying attention to that heat, That's always going to be fast and good, and over with in 3 minutes. And Mike Schmidt, when he's driving
I've heard that a lot about Trey.
You want to watch that. Well, every guy on those Utah teams is like a Mike Schmidt in a way when it comes to just attitude, right?
Yep.
That's going to be the most insane. That's going to be the most insane team show heats ever. All 4 of those first night heats are just going to be, pay-per-view worthy. I'll say that, pay-per-view worthy.
Well, it's so destination worthy because that place is so beautiful. I was never there in the summer, but I've been there in the fall, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So if you can't watch this on We Crash TV, you can damn sure get you a flight, go out there, enjoy the scenery because, like I said, that place, that facility is beautiful.
Oh, absolutely. What day are you guys getting in?
Wednesday night.
Okay. Oh yeah, Wednesday night. So you guys get time to maybe do some sightseeing if I could peel you away from the show for a bit, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I'm all about it. I did it last year. Justin took me up in the mountains. Didn't try to molest me or nothing on a side-by-side. Sorry, Justin.
Well, maybe Steven will get the pleasure. Opportunity.
I know that I get to bring my 13-year-old out, and he is stoked. Like, beyond excited.
As a driver, too, like, Brad and Ryan made it really easy for guys. Like, every pit stall, every driver gets their own pit stall that has a 240 power right there. They have water spigots right there. They even have, each stall has its own sewer if you want to bring up your camp trailer. Like, makes it easy for everyone. And then the thing I like that Brad did the most is he has an ice vendor on site, which I don't know how it is where you guys are, but like it sucks derby day when you're, got to fill up your icebox trans cooler because us guys in Utah are that ghetto still. you gotta send your pit guy to the gas station with like 3 coolers to fill
Dude,
it up.
I used to keep a fully stocked, I had an ice vendor at all my shows. And we have them come set like one of those ice boxes that they have outside of a convenience store, and I'd have that bitch topped all the way off.
Yep.
That's sweet. This one's, it's like a trailer or something, and then Brad, with your registration, just gives you like, I want to say, a handful or a couple tickets for free ice to just, go get it from that vendor. And
Ours wasn't for trans coolers, though. It was for beer.
Yeah. Which is super important, right? Because now you don't have to empty the beer cooler for your stupid trans cooler.
Bingo.
Ours actually double.
But you can run beer in a
I
radiator.
had to put one in there, but I'm afraid of how hot that thing gets. It explode in my face.
Not if you don't last very long like I do. So,
Or Trey.
I've never had that happen until like this year at the Wheelman. I tried to bag for once, and I don't know, we got to like the 55 minute mark, and I looked over at my trans cooler, and that whole box was smoking and like super hot to the touch and like burned me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like.
well,
reason number 3,000 I don't want to bag ever again in my life. And like reason number 1, how I drove in the Wheelman Heat that year, I never want to show my kids that video. Hey, you guys want to watch Dad bag? The thing that I think is the biggest difference between East Coast and Utah is like East Coast, the first minute to 5 minutes, you're hitting your buddies for time. And in Utah, guys won't make their first hit. They'll do that circle track stuff until you find your target. Like, you don't have to wait long. Like, the fights just start right then, There's no pleasantries. So that's the most frustrating part about trying to do that Wheelman Heat, being from Utah. Is like, what do you do with this dead time before you get to the real dance,
Oh, man. Chance is snapping me right now with questions I need to ask Parker.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna refrain. He's still typing. But, if it's like super good, I'm doing it.
Oh man.
Well,
There's so many ways that could go.
After Heber, what's on your schedule for 2025, brother?
Probably the only show I super duper care about. Yeah, the Brady Larson Memorial that Zach Ponzer and Tanner Workoven and that whole like 110 crew are putting on. Me and Chris Williams will be there in a duo car again.
Hold on, are you going to keep all 4 damn wheels on the ground this time? Or are you going to try to fly again?
We're going to probably fly again. We kind of letting the cat out of the bag. bought a couple of concert speakers that are Bluetooth, and we have our whole gas tank protector built like Pimp My Ride back there. so, we're hoping there's not too many Minnesota guys there with turnouts to drown out our bass, but we're going to try to run with some Easy E and stuff in the Cadillacs. Hopefully going into the arena with a little bit of a buzz, and hopefully, if we run that ice box, we could maybe keep the buzz going while we're bumping.
I'm telling you, I have thought so many times about cutting the center out of a bench seat and putting a six-pack cooler.
Yeah, we ought to probably do that instead of trying to run it in the trans cooler, but I don't know. Putting speakers in a duo car just seems right. Like, if you're trying to win a duo heat, you're a weirdo. Like, that's weird, Like,
man, I'm gonna have to ask you a couple of these questions in just a minute. We'll work up to that.
Oh no.
So, man, how did you and Chris end up being as close as you guys are right now? And I'm speaking of Chris Williams.
Man, I don't know. He probably just likes me for my body. I don't know. I don't know. Sam and Chris came out to inspect for Brad for destructive behavior the first year Brad took it over, because Brad's big thing was Utah was really lacking, not so much on the stern dirt side, but county fair wise, horrible inspections,
Correct.
So to bring some
Consistency
validity to the show, bring Chris and Sam out, and I don't know, me and my buddy Jordan Luke, we just hit it off with Chris right away, just super lighthearted, funny dude. And I remember the year I won it, cars are going over the ramp all day with really nice ski spindles and big ball joints and all sorts of crazy cool suspension stuff. And my buddy Zach Ponzer and Brady, they told me dude, just keep it simple, stupid. So I was like, all right. So I showed up in an 80s box Vic. It was stock. The only thing I did was O'Reilly's replacement upper ball joints that are still bolted in. I didn't even think about it because I never did it with my caddies, but I didn't even weld in the bottom ball joints. They were stock and just the smallest tie rods I could get. And I remember Chris was not to be that guy, but you could have had ski spindles and stuff. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? He goes, no, I'm just busting your balls. And he goes, I think you'll keep steering all weekend. He goes, you just watch, it'll probably pan out, big time. And so he's re-inspecting my car on that same lift later that weekend after winning the show, and he's like, told you, keep it simple, stupid. I don't know. It just good bond, good friendship. Chris, probably one of the funniest people to be around derby-wise, so I'm just glad he's letting me get back in a car with him, because I'm pretty sure I'm the reason we rolled over. Chris kind of had some beef with somebody from a previous show in that duo heat, but also in the car with that guy was Liz Stringer, so she's a girl. me and Chris have track shotted him 5 or 6 times, and it just felt wrong. So I kept telling Chris, dude, we gotta hit someone else, and he's like, no, we're going back. And so I'm only running the pedals, right? So Chris is just thumping the crap out of this poor girl. And in Chris's defense, he's hitting someone else, but I view it as we were hitting a girl. And finally, we back up to the K-rail, and we were going to go hit the girl again, and there's a car at the very end of the track with a perfectly good trunk. It was untouched, and I think I grabbed the wheel, and I turned out of the hit on the girl and pointed Chris towards the trunk at the end of the track, and we just kept in it. And before you know it, we're upside down, and the last thing I was thinking as we were in the air was, shit, we don't have seatbelts.
We are flying through the air. This is not good.
And Chris, I don't know, for whatever reason, he had the whole trans tunnel cut out, but even kind of by the tranny yoke and the drive line. So I remember trying to make my body not fall on the drive line and get turned into sausage in front of everybody. And I don't know, it was fun. We had like a Nerf gun in the car, and I was shooting like all the trackside officials in the nuts with the gun, and I had a bullet cocked and ready in the Nerf gun for when they rolled us back over, and I shot John Haas right in the goggles. When we landed, and he just kind of plucks it off him, and he looks at me like, "Are you shitting me? You have a Nerf gun right now?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh my
So like
God.
I said, if you take a duo heat seriously, you're a weirdo.
Yes, and you got in with Tyler Williams.
Yeah, and that was scary as crap, man.
Oh.
I didn't think about what I was signing up for when Tyler asked me. Me and Chris just got done running that duo car, and Tyler, he goes, "Hey man, you think you want to do that with me at Gold Rush? Like, you want to get in with a potato head like me? Like, I'm honored." And I didn't think much of it. I didn't start stressing about it. I thought it was like really cool that Tyler asked me, and then about 30 seconds into that youth heat, I was shitting my pants, dude.
Okay.
Those kids don't care. I saw Drake Bando and then that Ganrod kid, whatever. They're coast to coast breaking necks, and I'm like, the first red flag, I looked at him. I said, "Hey, are you and Drake Bando? You guys good?" Are you guys good? Because I don't want to snap my neck off. He's like, "Yeah, we're good. Okay, I can relax just like a little bit."
Okay, so Chance told me.
Chance Ogden.
Told me that I need to ask you about your karaoke career.
Oh, yeah. Oof, yeah. It's going really good. I might be able to post a couple highlight videos of it, but Chance is talking about one time I was picking up a Buick in like Colorado, and I was coming back really late at night, and anyways, Chance lives in Richfield, and I was dead tired. It was so close to, that was probably midnight. It was probably 11. I'm a baby. I go to bed early. But Chance is like, "Hey, man, you want to stop at my house for the night, sleep here, and we'll go to the bar?" I obviously can't turn that down. And then what I can't turn down even more than that was there's karaoke night at the bar. And, yeah, we did some things, man. There was... I think the funniest part about that, though, I don't even remember what the song was, but there was I'm not going to dive into politics here one way or the other, but there was a member of the alphabet community. There was a homosexual man that apparently was asking if I was single after I was done. So, I must have done a really good job at karaoke.
You serenaded. And then he said that I need to ask you about getting punched in Shelley, Idaho.
Oh, shit. Okay. We're on a roll. So I was, I was 17 maybe or 16. Anyways, in high school, my parents moved to Idaho for a few years, and I used to only derby in Utah, but one time I figured I'd bring a pre-round to a show in Idaho, and I didn't do very good. I think I got like 6th or 7th place or something, and felt like I didn't do very good, and I was getting towed out of the arena behind a tow truck, and I heard something hit my door. I looked down, and it was a beer bottle that shattered against it, and I looked up and got smoked right in the face. And this like 45-year-old guy just kept punching me in the face over and over again, like in the little bucking chutes away, like in between where you drive in, you know. And the guy had me alone in there for a good 40 seconds or so, just popping me. And instead of punching him back like a smart person to do, I just sat there asking him what I did. What did I do? And he's like, "You know what the fuck you did." And he just kept going and punching me. And I was like, the tow truck driver isn't even seeing this, and this guy's just in my car beating the shit out of me. And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how am I going to get him to stop?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm like 16. And he's like, "Oh fuck!" And they just like took off. And by the time he took off running, a few people had seen from a distance, and they tried to chase him down. And I guess his own kids came up to us and like, yeah, sorry, like he's super drunk and like he thought you were someone else. And anyways, I go back and look on the footage, and his daughter won the powder puff, and they threw her in the championship heat. And they said 3, 2, 1, go, and she never started her car, but a different station wagon. A cooler one, might I add you. It was a round back. I was in a Mopar wagon, so, I mean, holy effing airball, right? That Chevy wagon went and launched his daughter over the wall before she even got a chance to fire her car up, and he was so drunk he thought I was the cool wagon.
What's a cool wagon? Well, brother man, we're gonna let you get back to it. We will see you in roughly a month, and we're gonna have a good ass time in Heber. How about it?
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys need a ride to the airport or anything, or from the airport, let me know. Be happy to have you guys out there.
Will do, brother. We appreciate you.
Thanks for your time, man, and we appreciate you jumping on here and taking away from. I know you've got a busy schedule. And
oh, we're good. My kids are just waiting in the house to probably beat me up and ask to make more pancakes or something.
I'm getting ready to go back to the exact same thing because my children haven't seen me all week, so I'm sure that
Yep.
they're just waiting for me to get. They miss me, and I'm like, miss what? Being mean to me?
Yeah, you guys miss bullying me.
Oh man, we appreciate it.
Thing though, I forgot one thing before we get off. I got permission to drop some cool news though.
Deal.
Today. Zach Ponzer and the crew for the Brady Larson Memorial, they have a pretty cool band coming for the last night of the show. You guys ever heard of Saliva?
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, Saliva is playing at the Brady Larson Memorial.
That might get turned up.
That is going to be insane. Like last year they had, I can't remember the other band that they brought, but yeah, this year it's going to be Saliva. So Zach finally said I could let the cat out of the bag.
They need to put them on a pedestal in the middle of the track and play that before the feature.
Click, click, boom!
Oh yeah, like Chunk, old Broadhead. All of his highlight reels when I was a kid was all Saliva songs. So I'm sure if I can corner the Saliva guys, I'll just be showing them YouTube videos from 15 years ago. Look at this, look at you guys. There's a bunch of videos of you guys over Derby stuff, and they're gonna be like, "That's a cool story, kid. Man, get the fuck out of my tent," or whatever. But,
yeah, buddy.
I'm pretty excited. So yeah, Saliva's gonna be there. So be there. Be square.
Be there, be square, brother. We will see you in a month.
All right. Catch you guys later.
Thanks
brother.
again, sir.
Yeah. All right.
Since Justin has been on board with us at Hard Nose, we have figured out how much Broadhead Decals means to the sport of demolition derby. His great quality parts are seen from coast to coast and everywhere in between.
But he can do more than just derby products. Your everyday business may need some pep in its step with new banners or stickers. And just give him an idea and let him run with it. Whether it's business related or just want to look badass in the winner circle, let Broadhead Decals work for you.
We do.
DerbyNation.tv is your one-stop shop for your Demolition Derby pay-per-view needs. With a schedule like no other, you can catch all the shows you want to watch at the touch of a button from the comfort of your living room without leaving your house. But pay-per-view derbies aren't the only thing that they can get you. You can also carry a monthly subscription to watch the ever-growing Derby Builds, where you get all the behind-the-scenes action on different build processes with the Derby Builds team, including team show cars and even some national level youth builds.
And if you can't make it to that big show in person, go ahead, host that shop watch party, and let DerbyNation.tv bring excitement of Demolition Derby action straight to your shop live on your TV.
That dude's a riot.
Parker's on another level, and the problem is that Parker hasn't been drinking.
Right.
This was 9 a.m. his time.
We don't go off of their time.
We go off Steven time,
That's exactly right.
and that's what I told him. I said 9 a.m. your time, 10 a.m. Steven time. He said, "Good game."
We knew that was going to be a good one.
Oh yeah.
Wanted to pick his brain, kind of what he thought of the progression with Utah, and I feel like, his insight is great on that. We pump up Utah so much about being hard hitters and stuff, and then you've got these guys that have come out and watched. Chance has been to P. Hill.
Yeah. Jared
P. Hill. Now we've got Parker, that has got to come out and check some of this stuff out, and he's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Illinois' not dicking around either.
On a stock build.
Right.
We're talking
Which
their old iron wire.
Which you talk, Gage Sumner,
Yeah.
Mr. Amish Pointy himself,
Mason Larson.
Cordell, Colt.
There's 4. You can just stop right there. That's not even counting Brett Nelson.
And Godfather,
Yeah.
Adam,
Yep.
PJ.
Yep. Phil.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's what Parker got to witness. And whenever Chance and them were out here, they got 0-0.
020, 030, 21D. I mean,
Yeah.
they watched them all. 50,
Yeah.
11. They watched those guys too.
Yeah. And
Jared even was like, dude, this is like better than Utah shit. I was like,
they get
different.
to watch. They don't get the. I don't want to step on my dick because we're going to Utah.
It ain't that long.
They don't get the builds we get. I mean, they're starting to with the newer generation.
Like they get their rule sets are
So far,
totally far apart. But now, we've talked
Jared
about
Jackson,
Jared and Jackson and Chance and what
Parker,
these guys are
and
doing to those builds, looking into that build process,
Oh, yeah.
looking for those areas
Uh-huh.
in air quotations of what they can do. And
Primer areas.
we've said it. Mason Larson's trunks are fucking unbelievable. But now you've got Dalen Brown's trunks are really good. Jared Johnson's trunks and Jackson and Chance, those trunks builds and squeezes, they're just wow.
Uh-huh.
And now you've got guys that are building, looking for those areas to make their builds even better.
Well, yeah, and I know that there's a lot of people that dog on Tyson Shelley. But like the stuff that he's doing and putting out there, like that's cool. Like he's really grabbing a hold of that social media side.
Well, Tyson as a builder, his personal car, Jared Jackson did the trunk. I mean, that's on social media. That's
Right.
that's everywhere. So
But you've seen what he's done to like the old iron stuff.
yes,
Yep.
Yep.
And whether you agree with it, I mean, he's trying something.
something different.
Yeah, because some of the ways that I look at like the trunk on a Cadillac from just the people that I know that run Cadillacs, and I feel like we have some of the best Cadillac builders in the game here, like local.
Like 20 minutes from us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking Missouri as a whole. I'm talking like local.
Yeah.
And the way I see him do these trunks and stuff, I'm like, I don't think it'll work. You know what I'm saying?
Thinking outside the box,
It is.
you know.
It is, but we've just watched how they. I'm not going to try to give away a bunch of shit, and I know people have seen it.
The
But,
caddy tuck.
well, they
you know.
they soften that back end up a little bit because we know what it's going to do back there.
Not well.
Right.
That's what it's not
I mean,
going to do
unless
well.
you are an avid Cadillac builder, a Cadillac's not a good car for you.
No. Because they have their,
They've got their faults.
well, yeah.
I mean, steering.
Yep. Steering and ass in, that is their faults.
Yeah. Now that stub though.
That front up there, it's got a little something, something.
And that's why you see them perform like you do in Utah. We talked about this, and you don't really see the 3, 4, 5, 6. You do. You see them out there. But that 69 to 72 really shine out there because of what you can do to the front of those cars. And it's...
Because how are they driving them? That way?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't see them back up out there. That's definitely a place that if you lost reverse...
No big deal.
Right. And their tracks are so big. Like you can turn some old iron around out there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, how many roundbacks did Gumby drive?
All of them.
And you can turn. I mean,
I think that's why Jared took what he did to Heber 2 years ago.
right.
Yeah, that wagon, dude, that bitch was nasty as shit.
But you can turn it around. Out there. You know, you get a wagon, and I'm not saying you can't because there's guys that run wagons around here. Don't take it that way. Crown Vic will turn around 3 times
Circles.
before if you've got a little bit of a slick track or something that where you turn the front end slides a little bit, you have a little trouble turning that old iron around.
Yeah. I mean, it's twice as heavy.
And then you get if you've got all the motor, like you see a lot,
Yep.
they will turn. Spin it.
They're in the other direction now. But
Because
not
there for a
everybody's
long
got
time.
that.
Well, there for a long time, I was like dogging hard on old iron running Madison, but they have improved their track enough that
Yeah.
They need to improve more from what I hear.
Yeah. They're going to make it bigger. I tried for fucking 4 years to make it bigger. They wouldn't let me. They let me go like 10 foot. Now they're going to go like 80 foot.
That's why. Well, we talked about renting it whenever we were having some issues here, and I told him I was like, I'm going to fuck your all's world up if I rent that. I said because I know what I'm going to have up here, and I'm going to need all of it.
Yep. Yep.
Because I would have been past the grandstand.
That's where they're going.
I would have been.
They're going to where we had talked about
Yeah.
stopping it. That's I think that's what they're wanting to do.
Your staging area wouldn't have been what it was. I can
No,
tell you that.
you have half of that staging area.
And then I wanted to run them out the other side.
Yep.
And the way they did it up there this year,
Get closer to your mic.
Don't deep throat it.
I was just doing what Steven was doing.
Treat it like it's mine.
When they set up the staging area this year, you staged on one. They set up cones. You staged on one side. When they brought everybody out, they stayed to the other side. So that way, there wasn't that mix up, and there wasn't
Did the
that.
cone thing work?
It did
Because I work around a lot of traffic cones. Nobody gives a fuck about that.
Yeah, but that's because
It did.
they think you're MoDOT.
But it would have been so much easier to make a gap out of the other side
Yeah.
where the fire department come in, so they're not having to jump over a wall. They can go right through an opening with some tires.
Correct.
And then just haul them right out there, not have to fuck with staging, and then just take them right into the pits. Just make a big circle.
I love that.
Yeah. Instead
And
of fighting
some
each other.
continuous panels will do that. Because there's that gate right there.
Yeah. Yep.
I think with the
I told them that's how I was going to do it. I said, I don't know where I'm going to come up with the dirt, but you are going to lose some fucking dirt somewhere.
They're looking for dirt right now.
and I told them
They've got dirt on that place.
All they got to do is skin it.
I would
They've got
make
a lot
that
of
parking
dirt.
lot. Boy. You know what I'm talking about, the grass parking?
The west parking
Boy.
lot. Yeah,
Well,
we are going to re-gravel that now.
Guaranteed. Because I would come in there with all the skid loaders.
And just start rolling that bitch up like a Bob Marley
Oh,
joint.
dude, pile your black dirt, sling that shit,
Yep.
and get down in there, hit that hard pan. That shit's be going on that track. And
Yep.
then everybody and their dog's got a tractor.
Oh, yeah.
Come on out.
We're going to party.
Yeah, here's some free cold beers.
But, dudes,
then you're
This-
gonna have a tractor derby.
this is just starting the Utah coverage. Because, like we just said, we're going to be there in a month.
We're taking our equipment, right?
Planned on it. So we don't have to record it when we land on Sunday. We can just record Saturday right there.
Oh, yeah. Maybe grab Mr. Bowman.
Yep. We're going to we're going to be able to maybe grab Mr. Ryan.
Ooh.
Because we're going to get Brad back on before the show.
I know that me and you have talked a lot, and with the listener feedback, we do have a shitload of support in Utah.
Bingo.
I want to get some of them old schools laid up on here, because you know they're going to be there.
Maybe like a Gumby. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to send that text
Yeah.
because I think they'll all be there.
They are getting older, so maybe I can like kidnap one.
Just hijack them for like an hour. Yeah, I think they can do that. Well, dudes, I think that's a good stop spot.
Me too. Thanks for stopping by, Si. Appreciate it.
Yeah, hooker. Got any last words?
Nope.
Make jump, boys.